Well, hello dummies. I am back. I'm not gonna lie. I was somewhat relieved that I was traveling during the past two games and couldn't do the breakdowns because, well, one, I was utterly distraught that Javante was ruled out for the entire season after his injury, and two, because I had to sit through an entire game of field goals against the Colts. So was not looking forward to either one of those breakdowns. But I cannot avoid breakdowns any longer. I need a second. Monday night, the Broncos had their fourth primetime game and third primetime loss against the Chargers, losing in overtime by a freaking field goal again. That means that the Broncos are 1-11 in their last 12 divisional games. Love that for us, I really do. And for the first time ever, Russell Wilson did not end his press conference with his signature phrase, "Let's ride." You realize he has done every press conference and ended it in the exact same way since March? March did not say "let's ride." Could I be spiraling? Possibly. One, the penalties. Wow, I wish I could do one breakdown without bringing up those pesky little penalties. This Monday, we racked up 10 penalties for a total of 151 yards. Now, this is the most yards of any individual team this year, and the 240 combined total penalty yards with the Chargers and Broncos was the most of any game this year. In fact, the only other time in Broncos history they have beat that 151 yards in a single game was in 1976 with 160 yards. Yep, just 4 yards short. That's it, 4 yards. 1976 was when the Apple computer company was invented, Rocky was released in theaters, and the inkjet printer was invented. That 1976. Two, defense held us together yet again. The defense is our shining star. What can I say? They are fourth in scoring defense. Pro Football Focus ranked them first this week in the entire NFL. And they're the league best in touchdowns allowed per game, which is followed by the league worst in touchdowns scored per game. That is another story. Anyways, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert had 3 consecutive games with at least 3 touchdowns against divisional opponents. So props to our defense to holding the Herb down. The Herb down. Once again, defense, you are the backbone of this team. Where can I send a thank you edible arrangement? Simmons, shoot me your address. That's very safe, I swear. And 3, Russell Wilson. God. Okay, here we go. Russ is not cooking. Now, some of you may hear me say this and be like, well, yeah, no, that's obvious. He hasn't been cooking for a while. But here's the thing. I have been such a Russ fan since he was traded to Mile High, and I never thought that I would admit any wrongdoing by Mr. Wilson. But this is me admitting Russ is doing wrongdoing. First quarter, I thought, this is it. He hit his stride. He was 10 for 10 on passes and 116 yards. Let's go, baby. Then it just went downhill from there. He was 3-11 with only 15 yards after halftime. And this includes overtime. 15 yards. He is last in completion percentage in the NFL. We are the worst scoring offense in the NFL. And Russell has only thrown 5 touchdowns in 6 games. And what's worse, the Broncos have scored fewer than 17 points per game 5 times in 6 games. With Peyton Manning, the Broncos scored fewer than 17 points only 3 times in 57 games. God. My heart, it hurts. It really does. I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. Now, thank God we have most of our primetime games out of the way. Never thought I would hear me say that. But we must remember, out of all of our losses, we have lost on average by only 4 points. These games have been so incredibly close. In 5 of them came down to the last couple minutes. None of them have been blowouts. And the closest game to a blowout was against the Raiders, and that still was only a 9-point loss. Although it feels like we are 0-6. It really does. Things could be worse. And I'm going to immediately retract that statement because we are not gonna put that out there. Take it back. Take it back. Well, since Russ didn't do it, I guess fate of Broncos country lands on me. So, that's right.